of all the auto brands on the 6 straight years. That brand is Mazda. Come shop and save on the award-winning lineup of new Mazdas right now at Baton Rouge's Mazda dealer, Team Mazda on Airline.
Hi, business owners. Phase 3. Woohoo! But do your customers know you're back? Well, that's where the Clarence Bug Show and Pelican Broadcasting can help. Right now, we've got great rates on advertising packages to help you get the word out. Shoot me an email at bugsclarence@gmail.com. Or better yet, call me up. I'd love to talk with you. 225-485-6839. Let's get together and make Phase 3 the best it can possibly be.
From appetizers, pasta dishes, and entrees, La Contea takes pride in preparing all the Italian cuisine we know you love. Enjoy live music every Thursday through Saturday from 6 to 9, happy hour weekdays from 3 to 6, and brunch on Sundays from 11 to 2, as well as dinner portion-sized lunch specials for under $10. Visit our website to view our menu and book a party or meeting in our large banquet room. Once you try La Contea, your Italian dining will change forever.
They said I could find you here. Why are you fishing? Our company's got to ship out 2 full color brochures and 20 color copies. You're killing me.
It's done. Designed, printed, packaged, and shipped.
How?
You just got to know the right people. Baker Printing, the printing people.
How come you get to fish in this private lake?
Like I said, you just got to know the right people. You can know the right people too.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Welcome to today's edition of the Clarence Bug Show. Here's hoping that all is still well with you and yours since the last time we had the opportunity to spend a little time with you and yours, roughly some 24 hours ago. I took a liberty yesterday, and I made it a point to preface the fact that I don't know anyone in this family. But understanding the magnitude of what they are dealing with, I don't think that they would mind in the least if you good South Louisiana and Louisiana folks in general, for that matter, would be so kind as to keep them in your thoughts and your prayers. The LSU community, the education community, and pretty much all of Louisiana saddened today after it was confirmed yesterday that the body found near Reserve, Louisiana, was in fact that of LSU freshman Corey Gaucher. In a very tragic irony, her father, LeVar, in describing his heart as, quote, heavy, says his daughter's body was found just down the street from his job in Reserve, Louisiana. Authorities identifying the body and giving us confirmation for what so very many of us were hoping would not be a tragedy. Quote, thank you from the bottom of our hearts. LeVar Gaucher said God granted him one wish that he had on Wednesday, that his daughter be received in some fashion, that they be able to put her to rest properly. Since first being reported missing on April 6th, hundreds of you guys and girls have lent a helping hand, whether it be prayers, texts, inspirational messages, volunteering to search, what have you. And her father wants you all to know that the family is immensely grateful. Quote, "Thank you. Just thank you. That's all I can say." So far, based on cell phone tracking, video footage, and a timeline of the events related to this case, combined with other evidence that has not been released to the public, LSU police have concluded that there was no criminal activity or foul play involved in her death. Yesterday, it was, for lack of a better phrase, disturbing. The number of people on social media that were taking liberties that were not theirs to take. It is arguably one of the oldest adages in South Louisiana. If you can't say something good, don't say anything at all. These are trying times for so many people in so many different ways. And unfortunately, many of us now rely on, put our trust in social media. And while far be it from me as a conservative to want to limit anyone's speech, there's a responsibility that goes along with that. And yes, it is America. You have a right to have an opinion. You have a right to express that opinion. But when you do so, please be advised that there is a responsibility that goes along with that. And quite frankly, there but by the grace of God go any one of us. On any given day, you never know, it could be you and or your family in that situation. And the last thing you would want in looking for support, understanding, empathy, would be to read some of the things you folks put on social media. Word to the wise, hopefully, will serve to be sufficient. Speaking of looking for individuals in our state with potential tragic consequences, those of you that were so kind in keeping that family in your thoughts and your prayers, there's about a dozen other families in our state that desperately need that same consideration. Yesterday, the Coast Guard, and it continues today, launching a search for 12 people still missing off our state's coast after their offshore oil field vessel capsized in hurricane-force winds. One body was recovered yesterday. 6 people were rescued Tuesday after the Secor Power, the name of the ship, overturned Tuesday afternoon in the Gulf of Mexico. I didn't realize at the time that the winds in that area were clocked at 80 to 90 miles an hour. And if you know anything about that part of our coastline, winds of that magnitude, you're talking obviously an increased wave height, and you're talking about boats that are not specifically engineered to traverse those sort of conditions. It is something that anyone that's ever had a loved one that works in the oil field, particularly works offshore, they have to entertain that every time that loved one goes out and every time that loved one comes back in. And again, I understand a lot of folks watching right now are not members of the community of faith. I get it. It's America. You have a right to worship what you choose or worship nothing at all. I get it. But I don't think these folks would mind one iota if you, tonight, when you get ready to lay your head down and you talk to whomever it is that you talk to before retiring for the evening, if you would be so kind as to keep them in your thoughts and your prayers, I know without a doubt they would be eternally grateful. It is a huge part of our economy. I don't think there's probably a person watching right now that at some point in your life, you didn't know someone or was related to someone that worked in the oil and gas industry. That's who we are in Louisiana. It is why we are one of the nation's producers in that regard. Same holds true for things like our fisheries. Many people, every single day, we're blessed. We get up, get in our car, we go to the place of work. We're in a nice dry office. Some of us 3, 4, 5, 10 stories up in the air. Making it home safe and sound is the furthest thing from our minds every single day. And we stop and get gas when we need it, oil when we need it, the myriad of products that have been developed because of the immense amount of oil and gas that we have. We use these things and never think twice about it. But the reason we are so blessed is because there's some folk out there that every single day strap it on and do what they do, understanding full well this could be the last time I go out or come in. As you might imagine, with every passing minute, the search for these 12 individuals moves further away from being a rescue operation and closer to becoming a recovery situation. It is our sincere hope that all 12 of these individuals will be rescued, they will be safe and sound, and we will not have to revisit anything of this sort in the near future. Now, I also have to be a realist, and in understanding the number of people that work in this industry in our state, the propensity for problems, accidents, et cetera, it's up there. That is just a part of what is a very dangerous occupation. All that being said, those folks who rely on their faith every single day, when that loved one heads out or when that loved one is on their way back home, they understand the power of prayer. And unlike many other things in our society, there's a lot of things in society you can have too much of. Prayer ain't one of them. Just saying. I need to get the first break of this hour out of the way. As we mentioned earlier, weather conditions are still a concern today. We are hopefully on the downslide of all this inclement weather. And there's an update for you for our friends in Ascension and Livingston parishes. I'll go ahead and spill the beans. I got 30 seconds. Recreational boat traffic shut down for the immediate future. That's because, obviously, all of the runoff from the inordinate amount of rain we've had as of late. So keep that in mind. Govern yourselves accordingly. We'll take this break, come back, and talk more with you right where you've got it on the Clarence Buggs Show here on the Pelican. Stay close.
I owed the IRS $10,000.
The IRS garnished my wages.
They put a lien on my house.
I'm self-employed and didn't report all my income. They claim I owe a lot more than I do.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wages wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
Tax Solutions Now can get you help. Our agents know the rules, can stop the pain, and get you the best deal.
Tax Solutions Now saved my business.
I qualified for the Fresh Start program. I paid less than I owed.
We connect you with a team of former IRS agents and tax professionals who get the IRS off your back. Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions now.
Call 800-778-4345. 800-778-4345.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreystoneCountryClub.com.
Hi, I'm Hurricane Betsy Barnes.
And I'm Dr. Kay Siller with The Rocket Right Show.
We are two busy blondes on the go showing off life in Louisiana.
Watch us on Pelican Sports Network.
And Talk 107.3 FM. Check local listings for times.
Team Honda wants to thank you for once again making us Louisiana's #1 new car dealer by offering you never-before-seen savings. For the first time ever, get 0% financing up to 60 months on some of your favorite Honda models. Get thousands in savings right now at Team Honda on Siegen Lane.
Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent. Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Get huge Whirlpool savings. Shop now and save on Whirlpool appliances throughout the store. Plus, experience our price match guarantee and ask about special financing. You can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day. Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent with nationwide buying power.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
Welcome back to today's edition of the Clarence Bug Show. You know, I guess it is part and parcel of the human experience that societal trends have a trickle-down effect. Many times we see things that originate in smaller communities. These things pick up steam and then are adopted by medium-sized communities. And the next thing you know, it's all the rage in large communities. Conversely, things will start in larger cities, and typically, because it's a larger city, you get more media coverage and exposure of it. And before you know it, all the folks in the medium-sized cities, and then sure as shooting, the smaller communities follow. It is not exclusive in any way, shape, or form to any community. And I have been blessed to be here long enough to understand when certain things happen, you can just about make book. It is going to spread from this area to another and another and another. And before long, you find yourself saying, wow, never thought I'd see you fill in the blank with controversial activity here happening in my community. In recent memory, particularly since the COVID-19 pandemic and the lockdowns, we've seen an uptick in crime. More violent crime, more domestic crime, and more crimes carried out by younger and younger individuals. I want to say, and forgive me if I'm wrong, charge it to my head, not to my heart. Not so very long ago, we talked about the fact that there had been this increase in carjackings in the Big Easy. And I commented at the time, coming soon to a neighborhood near you. It was said almost flippantly, in that, not to make light of the situation, but understanding how these things take hold and how, when, and where they then spread. Conventional wisdom says, coming soon to a neighborhood near you. Well, yesterday, the East Baton Rouge Parish Sheriff's Office took the time to inform the public that carjackings in our area now are on the rise. The Zachary Police Department, and this is probably the epitome of small town America. If you've ever been to Zachary, you know what I'm talking about. You can't go in a store without witnessing all these people talking to one another because everybody pretty much knows everybody else. You go there, you ask for directions to a certain place, everybody knows where to go. You go there and you start up a random conversation with people you've never seen before, and it's just like your old friends. It is as classic an example of small town America as you will ever find. But this week, the Zachary PD shared with the public what these folks are looking for, how they are going about doing this dastardly deed, and what you can do to protect yourself. This is from the EBR Sheriff's Office website. Quote, the EBRSO Armed Robbery and Burglary Division would like to inform the public that surrounding areas outside of East Baton Rouge Parish are seeing an increase in carjackings. The suspects are targeting late model cars with push-button start and confronting individuals at gunpoint while they are approaching their vehicles or sitting in their vehicles. The EBRSO is asking residents to be cautious and aware of their surroundings when walking to and entering their vehicles. It is a sad commentary that we had this conversation, 4 months ago, actually closer to 5, as we headed into the holiday season. I mean, after all, you got a car full of packages, you're walking out of a department store, you're filled with Christmas cheer, you're not all that aware that, this guy over here looks like he could be a little shady. Maybe I need to, get somebody to walk with me to the car. You almost expect that because after all, it's the holidays. And we all know full well criminals never take a holiday. But here it is now, 5 months later, and law enforcement, God bless them, notices this upward trend and has to take time out of their day to advise us on how to protect ourselves. So when getting into your car, the sheriff's office advises that you, number one, stay alert. Number two, approach your car with your keys in your hand. Ladies, don't have to stand there at the car digging in your purse to try and find your keys or your key fob, okay? Do that before you exit the store. That way, you've got it in your hand. If something happens, you hit the panic button, folks jump in to help. Additionally, they advise, does the sheriff's office, look around and inside your car before you get in. How many of you actually, when you leave a store, walk to the car, you hit the key fob, or you put the key in, turn it, and you just jump in? You never look in the back seat to see if there's some joker hiding out back there waiting to rob you or, in this case, carjack you. Be wary, says the sheriff's office, of people loitering in the area. You know how you are when you go to Walmart. Lord, I'm trying to get in and get out as fast as I can. You and probably 98% of everybody else in that store. So when you see someone that looks like they have nowhere to go and all day to get there, the hairs on the back of the neck are supposed to stand up. And at the end of the day, if you've been around for any amount of time at all, you get gut feelings about people and situations. Trust your gut. Trust your instinct. If something feels like, something not quite right about this, get into your car quickly, close, lock the doors, and exit the premises. Now, sadly, we have likewise seen a huge increase in cases where, if it's not attempting to steal your car, it's folks shooting while driving down the roadway. While on the road, the sheriff's office is advising keep your doors locked, your windows rolled up, at least partially, no matter how short the distance is that you're traveling, and no matter how safe the neighborhood you're in happens to be. Well, honey, I'm just going around the corner. You know, you crank the music up, got the windows down, and you're just oblivious to everything going on around you. You are asking to be a victim. Be especially alert when you are stopped at intersections, gas stations, ATMs, and convenience stores. When you're coming to a stop. And I'm trying to remember, I think this is on the driver's test, but if it's not, common sense and everyday experience should have had you adopt this practice by now. You ever notice what we do at a red light? We stop and we pull all the way up to the bumper of the car in front of us. So if something happens, we have no room to maneuver at all. You look up in the rearview mirror because you just heard the brakes lock up. You see him sliding towards you. There's nothing you can do because you didn't leave yourself enough room to maneuver. Little rule of thumb. When you stop at an intersection, an ATM, convenience store, you should be able to see the rear tires on the car in front of you. For most of you, all you can see is the windshield on the next car because you're that close, right behind them. If you cannot see the rear tires on the car in front of you, my friend, you're too close. And while the person in front of you may have an affinity for tailgaters, maybe that's their thing, I don't know. But if you need room to maneuver in a hurry, you out of luck, Hoss. You plumb out of luck. That's the time when you end up becoming a victim. Now listen, I hate more than you having to spend time talking about this. But you know what I hate even more? Is spending time talking about yet another tragedy that could have been averted if someone opted to use some common sense. I get it. I know common sense ain't common anymore. God told me just last week, Clarence, I saw common sense. He was getting on a flight, heading across the country. I get it. But at the end of the day, the life you save just might be your own. Trust your gut, y'all, and govern yourselves accordingly. As you probably know by now, the Democrats today, the big news, unveiling new legislation to pack the court. If you saw the press conference announcing this, you have my deepest condolences for the insults that you had to endure and the stupidity that these people exhibited in trying to justify this move. We'll talk about that next when we come back after our bottom of the hour break, right where you've got it on the Clarence Bugg Show. Sit tight.
Got termites? Get Premier Pest. PremierPestServices.com.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Jaguar Nation, we need your help in masking up Louisiana.
Masks help us slow the spread of COVID-19.
During this time, we must continue to wear a mask. Wash your hands and practice social distancing.
It's important that we continue to abide by the CDC's guidelines to stop the spread.
Jaguar Nation, we challenge you to mask up.
Go Jags!
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Caught spiders? Premier Pest Services.
Welcome back to today's edition of the Clarence Bugg Show. You know, it is somewhat humorous to watch, but when you understand the hidden ramifications, it ceases being so much hilarious and shifts to being downright scary. I would have to imagine the majority of folks watching right now that have a reasonable working knowledge of the English language know full well what certain words mean. And when others attempt to undermine, change, destroy what is a universally established meaning for a word, typically it gives us reason to pause and question why. This week, and this morning actually, congressional Democrats held a news conference to explain their efforts to pack the Supreme Court by expanding it to 13 justices. We talked just yesterday about Nancy Pelosi and others informing us, because apparently either we didn't know this or we were too stupid to figure out, that child care, expanded paid medical leave, and things of that nature are, in fact, infrastructure. They have now coined a new phrase. Well, this is not traditional infrastructure, it's human infrastructure. And, of course, not to let one outdo the other, Representative Mondaire Jones, Democrat from New York, took to social media yesterday and announced, quote, Supreme Court expansion is infrastructure. You know, I don't know which is more of an insult. The fact that you would be comfortable enough to spout this garbage to my face, or the fact that you think I believe what you're saying. You know, most of us as boomers, we were taught early in life, everything that comes up does not necessarily need to come out. Let me use another adage. It's often better to be thought a fool and keep your mouth shut than it is to open it and remove all doubt. Now, we thought these folks in D.C. were fools. We gave them that automatic assumption. It has now been confirmed. Supreme Court expansion is infrastructure. Little background. Since 1869, the United States Supreme Court has had 9 justices. In the 80 years prior to that, the makeup of the highest court in the land fluctuated from a high of 10 to a low of 5. Ironically, less than a week ago, President Joe Biden announced, I'm going to form a commission to look at restructuring the court. So let me get this straight. It's been this way since 1869. Quick math tells me that's 152 years. You formed a commission, and in less than a week, you came up with this marvelous idea to fix a system that hadn't been broken in well over 150 years. I guess these people in D.C. are actually capable of moving quickly on things. I mean, you fixed a 150-plus-year-old problem in less than a week, but your sorry behind still ain't been to the border yet to find out what the hell is going on. But you will tell me this to my face and think, apparently, I'm too stupid to read between the lines. If you can fix a 150-plus-year problem in less than a week, how long have you been working on it? That's what I'd like to know. First and foremost, how long you been working on, quote, fixing this problem? Now, if you watch the press conference, or if you watch the news later today, you will hear sound bites from the individuals that they trotted up in front of the microphone to give you this propaganda brainwashing first thing in the morning. You're going to hear, quote, the Republicans stole 2 Supreme Court seats, and we are obliged to restore balance by changing the court. You will hear another soundbite that says, quote, we need to pack the court to restore confidence. Here's a good one. This one should tell you every freaking thing you need to know. We need to pack the court to restore democracy. Now, I don't know about you, but I had two wonderful parents, and they demanded, boy, you bet not let me get a report about you sleeping in civics class. If I find out the time I am spending money to have you educated about the intricacies of how this grand experiment in self-governance is being taught, and I found out you in there catching Z's, Houston, we gonna have a problem. So, unlike those of you whose parents did not instill that in you, I know full well this is not a democracy. The mere fact that individuals freely roaming the halls of our nation's capital don't understand that we're a representative republic, not a freaking democracy, tells you everything you need to know. You are elected to serve, not appointed to rule. And not only are you attempting to change the makeup of the court, but you're also attempting to snooker, bamboozle, and hoodwink folks into thinking we live in a democracy. If you swallow that, you'll fall for anything. Well, we gotta restore faith and confidence in democracy. It's not a democracy, fool. We elect people to be our representatives in this republic, hence a representative republic. In a democracy, majority rules. That ain't what we got, hoss. What we have does not work that way. Of course, now, if they thought for 1 second that you were not as dumb as a box of rocks, they wouldn't dare to your face say what is a blatant untruth. But hey, at the end of the day, them dummies, they don't know any better. Why not? It's worked so far. I don't know what insults me more, that you look at me with a straight face and tell me this garbage, or the fact that you leave the podium, go home and pat yourself on the back and say, yeah, I think they bought it that time, buddy. Yeah, they bought that one, fools. You see how they play you, or how they try to play us? And at the end of the day, y'all, I don't care how you choose to slice it. Our children, our grandchildren, you and I, just regular folk, and this republic deserves a whole lot better. We deserve a whole lot better than what we're getting. You know, if the problem were this big and the repercussions so far-ranging that we had to fix this, isn't it ironic that you spent, Mr. President, 8 years as the second most powerful man on the face of planet Earth, and to do this never crossed your mind? Now, all of a sudden, after 150 plus years, the last 48, by the way, of which you have worked for us, now all of a sudden, we got to fix this problem. We need to restore democracy. We need to restore confidence in the court. Obviously, when you make that statement, you don't realize, as a man of color, who watched you pass Roe v. Wade, leading to the death and mutilation of 16 million black babies in the womb, I lost confidence in that court a long time ago. So don't feed me this line of bull about, we're going to restore democracy. Heard a guy say something yesterday, Marty, you're going to love this. You know, we now have CNN LOL. We have MS LSD. Now we have CBS. CBS, Columbia Broadcasting System. No, when you listen to them and you read what they write, you see, BS. Final break of today's show. We'll get her done. Come back, put that big old pretty bow on this puppy and wrap up today's edition of the Clarence Bug Show, here and only here on the Pelican. See? BS. That's next.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
From appetizers, pasta dishes, and entrees, La Contea takes pride in preparing all the Italian cuisine we know you love. Enjoy live music every Thursday through Saturday from 6 to 9, happy hour weekdays from 3 to 6, and brunch on Sundays from 11 to 2, as well as dinner portion-sized lunch specials for under $10. Visit our website to view our menu and book a party or meeting in our large banquet room. Once you try La Contea, your Italian dining will change forever.
We're making 2021 the year of savings, and it starts right now at Team Toyota. Come get a new 21 Corolla for just $189 a month, or get a 20 Camry for just $19,995. It's a year full of savings starting right now, right here at Team Toyota.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Sometimes life is wonderful, and sometimes it's not. Cherish the good, but always be prepared for life's challenges. At Private Healthcare, we provide the peace of mind you deserve. With Private Healthcare, you'll get the coverage you want and healthcare you need. If your employer doesn't supply healthcare coverage and you don't qualify for Medicare or Medicaid, you need to give us a call right now. Private Healthcare is private health insurance for ages 65 and under with medical, dental, vision, and even prescription coverage. When life comes at you unexpectedly, you need to be ready, and health insurance is your financial safety net. Health insurance has never been so easy and affordable. If you're looking for health coverage at the best price and your annual household income is $35,000 or more, call the number on the screen now and speak with a live healthcare consultant. Don't wait. Get the coverage you need now.
Today's edition of the Clarence Bug Show. You know, if you are so fortunate as to live a relatively long life, and maybe I should back that up a little bit, because in recent memory, it's become more and more apparent to even younger individuals that there is truth to the adage, the 9 scariest words you can hear are, I'm from the government, and I'm here to help. We also have been witness to, with every passing generation, how the larger government becomes, the less responsive it becomes to the citizenry, and the longer it takes for them to reach a common sense conclusion that most Americans could come to lickety-split. I have watched in anguish how this particular situation has continued. Remember, there were two young boys here in Louisiana that had the misfortune of, during a virtual learning session, at home, mind you, had a BB gun in the picture in the virtual environment. And of course, the Jefferson Parish School Board decided, oh, hell no, we can't have that, y'all. They threatened them both with expulsion, ended up with just a suspension, but the whole thing has continued to drag on. Most recently, I want to say it was a week ago, the Jefferson Parish School Board asked the court system to invalidate the law that the legislature passed, Kyrie's law, in response to this injustice. I wondered aloud then, can you not see the futility in this issue? Can you not understand how everyday Louisianians are looking at you in this regard? Now, I get it. I don't have it twisted. I understand a lot of folks don't care how stupid they look. I mean, all you got to do is walk around these days and you figure that out real quick. There's a whole lot of folks don't care how you look at them. But at the end of the day, you are there to serve the public, number one. Number two, you are doing it with taxpayer dollars. So finally, good news, and the wheels of justice, not to mention the machine of government, moves ever so freaking slowly. Finally, attorneys for the Jefferson Parish School Board and the families of these two students have been ordered by the court to begin settlement negotiations. I guess the court says, all right, I tried to let you clowns, figure this thing out, do right by these students and these parents. This is getting us nowhere, so I'm ordering you to negotiate a settlement. A conference has been set for May 18th in U.S. District Court before Magistrate Judge Michael North. Quote, the parties shall be prepared to enter into meaningful and good faith settlement negotiations at the conference. Meanwhile, apparently, there's starting to be some little tiny cracks in the armor of the school board there. Individuals on the board now saying, well, we spent $160,000 defending this thing so far, and in all likelihood, it'll end up in a case where we end up spending a whole lot more than the $160,000 we've already spent on this. Maybe it might not be such a bad idea to settle this. Now, I guess if I'm to be fair about this, I have to applaud them for finally coming to their senses, understanding, bruh, this is a no-win for you. There is no universe where Jefferson Parish School Board, you come out looking real good. There is no universe where the stars align and that happens. And while I'm grateful for the sake of the image of my state, not to mention the two families involved, and others who rely on the Jefferson Parish School Board to guide and instruct their children, it's still painful that this went on this long before the Jefferson Parish School Board said, maybe we need to reverse course on this thing. I guess if you are a glass half full individual as opposed to the glass half empty, you can hang your hat on, well, better late than never. If you're not, you just kind of out there on your own, buddy. As Marty would say, you left it flapping in the wind. 10655 Coursey Boulevard. Bayou Smokehouse, the home of old school barbecue. It's where we shoot the show Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. If you've not been here yet, my friend, you are living a deprived life. You got to come get the brisket, marbled. Please come get the brisket. The ribs, oh my God. The bourbon baked beans, ooh, make you slap somebody, Marty included. The homemade mac and cheese, everything is made from scratch. Everything that lands on your plate is cooked with the utmost of love and care. And you know what may be more refreshing than anything else? You're going to be served by people who actually love their job. How many times have you been someplace, ooh, honey, that food was really good. Yeah, baby, but the service was horrible. Won't have that problem here. You deserve to have it all, and you get it all at Bayou Smokehouse, home of old school barbecue at 10655 Coursey Boulevard. About that time, Marty. Actually got about an extra 12 seconds, but I'll take it considering earlier in the week you left me hanging short. This day, maybe more so than any other, I give it to you. You know what? You are so right. America? Nah, we are in no ways perfect. But doggone it, for this old boy's money, it's the best there is. And God knows there's no place else on his green earth that I'd rather be. Speaking of the good Lord, you realize he loves you, right? And I hope you know that I do too. Then again, ain't a doggone thing you can do about either one. We'll see you next week. God bless.